Today, this discussion is about offences, punishments for the misappropriation. So, this for misappropriation, the Kautilya has prescribed punishments for different offences, different punishments. That is for misappropriating the forest produce. I explained what is forest produce, and the goods are tools from magazines, warehouse, stores of forest produce, and armories, that is Ayudhagaras. The fines are half of their value. So they should, if at all they misappropriate the original value, whatever is there, from that half of the value should be imposed as fine on them. In the case of misappropriation of the articles from the treasury, from the storeroom, and from the goldsmith's workshop, up to 1/4, 1/4 of its value. And this is, what they have to do. They have to give that value, 1/4 of its value. And also, the fine should be double the above prescribed. That means whatever it is, punishments that is before it is given. So like that, here this is a value also should be given, and also punishments should be doubled, as because that he refers to last class this, because up to 1/4 pana in value, 12 panas fine he has mentioned earlier, because that is the it is book is not with you, therefore we have to go back. So that way it should be doubled, etc. is there told. Then uh, in case of break, now the important item coming, in case of breaking open the treasury, the punishment for person in charge is death. For thieves, for breaking open the treasury, death by torture. For those who help them, the fine is half of the prescribed fines. Now, because above, that is they have given what is the punishment, up to the value, etc. He told. Breaking open the treasury, the punishment for person in charge. That means actually um, it is two types. For thieves, it is different. But actually, breaking open means at times what happens. Now, it is, of course, well known to many people. Actually, the system is one key will be in charge, and one key will be always, two keys. Unless you put two keys, the treasury can't be opened. So somehow by mischief or something, somebody is doing internally, and not thieves, not dacoit or anything. But internally, if something is the treasury is open and broken, then the in charge is responsible for that. Therefore, here it is very strict punishments, is not simple one. Punishment is death only, execution. Because now treasury means it is not, like some college treasury or anything. Here, this is what we say royal treasury. Treasury is not office treasury. Why? The misappropriation, when we are talking, it is in general. Because as I told you, Treasury Department and LMRS, etc., they are there, that is different. But here, when it is this is applicable to the Royal Treasury. Royal Treasury means a bank chori, very big bank chori. Because in those days, all Royal Treasury and we have studied means, of course, not under Kautilyan Law, but in general administration, we have studied. That means it is there. As I told you, I uploaded the video. There, Koshagara Nirmana is described. How should be the treasury? That means where all the gold, diamonds, etc. are kept. How many compartments will be there, how many rooms will be there, how the strong room should be there. All this is there. It's not, a simple, some small bank or a Gramina bank, so small ones, not at all. Because the capacity of local banks, the difference between a Gramina bank and a state bank and also Reserve Bank, etc. All these are very, very different things. Those days, royal treasury, that means all the royal income should be in one place, because small, small, small collections will be ultimately reach that royal treasury. So that treasury, breaking means you may think that some small bank or anything, not that. Because, oh, what is this you say? It is not like that. But breaking open the royal treasury, Koshadhyaksha is very important position. He is the in charge of the whole thing. So unless some his hand is there, without his notice, nothing should happen. Nothing will happen. Therefore, if it is the treasury is broken, means the person should be executed. This is one punishment. And for thieves, if thieves, they break open, then of course it will be known to all. For the thieves, once they are caught, it is death by torture. Death by torture means actually, this is what we say, this questioning will be there. That questioning interrogation will be there. It will be rigorous, very, very cruel treatment will be there. That will be done. And death also not the simple death, but it is death by torture. It will be like that. And then uh, what he says, and those who help them, the fine is half of the prescribed points. Now, those who help in such a theft, for them also fines, whatever fines prescribed for these people generally, because why he has simply written and one place I told you, this is in general they have given. And for treasure, for stealing small, this much of value, this much of value, that is already described. Therefore prescribed points will be there for anything. Because for stealing the gem, for stealing the gold, for stealing some different articles, this is there. Therefore whatever fines list is there, from that, half of that should be a fine for the helpers. These punishments are prescribed in case of king's property. I told the same. In case of royal property, these are the punishments. For stealing the same from treasures other than those of the kings, punishments are different. They are less than those meant for stealing king's property. So here again that description also is given. As I told you, the main treasury, the royal treasury, for breaking open and for stealing the articles from that, the punishments are very, very strict, rigorous. Not imprisonment, death by torture, etc. But other properties, other treasures, etc., these are not that much of rigorous, only some, of course, they are also in accordance with the offense, but not so serious as in the case of royal property. So they are saying non-regal properties, punishments for stealing, non-regal means non-royal properties, what they are. If an officer steals a forest produce or a tool from a field, from a threshing floor, from a house or a shop, by daytime, the fines and punishments are, as given below. For more than one masha in values, every time they are really one side, Kautilya, it is very particular, because how nice this law system means. Almost, as now modern law also gives punishments for such and such offense. This is the fine, this is the punishment. Similarly, why Kautilyan Law, I told, Kautilya also gives very clearly what type of offense and what is the value of the stolen goods, and accordingly the punishment is prescribed. This is the system found in Kautilya. Actually, such details, as I repeatedly am mentioning, this system is not found elsewhere in other Smritis or Arthashastras. Particularly Kautilya has described this. So he says, for more than one masha in value and up to 1.4 of a pana in value. See, one masha is and 1.4 of a pana. Because I told you pana is weight. What is that weight? Pana is 16 mashas. So 1 by 4th of a pana means what? That is 1 masha is different and 1.4 of pana. That means a little more than masha. Then 3 panas or insulting him by smearing cow dung and by proclaiming his guilt. Those days, different types of punishments were there. Here, either 3 panas, fine. Otherwise, insulting that person by smearing, that means applying all cow dung or ashes, mud, cow dung, etc. And also, we see they will be, taken on the streets and they will proclaim thief, donga, chor, and that way, because he will be taken along the roads in the entire city or village. That is it is more horrible than punishment for the people, because next time he cannot raise his head, he cannot look into the faces of his villagers. And up to one and half, not half of the value, 6 panas, here more than 1 masha. Here up to half of the value of pana, then 6 panas are insulting him by smearing cow dung and ashes on him and by proclaiming his guilt. So 3 by 4th, up to 3 by 4th of value. That means whatever the goods are taken. Then 9 panas are the same as above mentioned. It will be there. And here up to 1 pana of value, 12 panas. Actually, value is 1 pana, but the theft is so bad. Therefore, punishments are more. 12 panas are sending into exile. After shaving his head, Shiromundanam also will be done. And up to 2 panas in value, 24 panas are driving away with a piece of brick after shaving his head. So this is a type of punishment. 24 panas are just driving him, sending him away with a piece of brick after shaving his head. Shiromundanam, and also a brick will be given probably as indication. Similarly, like up to 4 panas in value, 36 panas. See, that means almost 9 times the fine is there. 5 panas in value, 48 panas punishment, up to 10 panas in value, and then 48 to 96 panas. Up to 30 panas in value, 500 panas the fine. Unless the fine is more, people will not get scared. When such punishments or fines are imposed, then only people get scared to steal any article. Otherwise, one pana is stolen, one pana is replacing. It is not the remedy for that. And up to 40 panas in value, goods are taken, then 1,000 panas fine. And up to 50 panas in value, death is the punishment. That means how horrible, because this shows how dare he is to take the goods of such value, because 50 panas, as I told you, those days, 50 panas, because 48 panas is the minimum for the first fine verb. That means average fine for the violence. So 50 means actually is crossing, 48 is crossing, therefore death is the punishment. And in here another interesting thing is there that punishments for selling the commodities in their original places. Sale and purchase will be done in notified places. Government means the king's administration. It always notifies the places where the sale and purchase will be carried out. It will be done. But some people, what they do, it is done, without the notice of the people. Just then there itself. Like this, we have seen many places because if there is no proper security check, fields, even gardens, even what we say, fruit orchards and vegetable gardens, simply that what we say, the mallis, the gardeners will be there. This is, of course, this is experienced by us, this is seen by us. So when the owner will not be there, the gardeners only will be taking care of all those things. What they do, when nobody is there, simply they take some pieces and if customers, passers by, they ask, they sell them. So this is also very, very serious offense. Therefore, the punishments are laid for that. So that way he says, selling the commodities in their original places, whatever is there. For example, rice in the field only, owner is not there. They will do all such things. Many people they know. That means particularly city people, students may not know, but those who are dealing with the business, traders they know, farmers they know, all such things happen. So in the case of metal goods taking from mines, the punishment is 600 panas fine because mining is such an important thing. Mining minerals they are of very good value, so they take up a very small one also automatically because mining means not only coal mines but other mines also will be there. The metals, if the metals are taken and simply they sold to somebody, then the fine is 600 panas. And just which I mentioned, it is coming. For taking flowers and fruits from gardens and fruit orchards, the fine shall be 51 and half panas. I told you, fruit orchards, flowers, so etc., gardens, so it is fine. For taking all kinds of crops from fields, again I told you, crops from fields, the fine shall be 53 panas. Because like maize, like a makka, jorna, whatever are there, simply then there itself, the passers-by travelers, of course, the fields will be, actually the roads will be in between the fields if you have observed. So either sides the fields will be there. And automatically those who go by their own vehicles, like in modern times by cars, they stop there and they ask them to sell something, they take. So such offenses. And 53 pana. In case of agricultural produce, the penalty is 1 pana and 1.5 pana. Agriculture produce, whatever is there, agriculture produce means, as I told you, that corn or anything and that is jawari, whatever it is. And then now, the superintendent of mines should look after the affairs concerning mines. And the responsibility is of superintendent of mines. It is Akaradhyaksha is a chapter. Akaradhyaksha has to take care of the mines. Okay. He should impose a fine eightfold in case a metal is stolen from mines. If the metal is stolen, then eight times the fine should be imposed on the thief. In case of jails, death is the punishment. If it is a what we say diamond ore and golden ores will be there. In case of jails, then automatically that fine again death only. He should he should not allow to sell the goods at their original places. That means in the manufacturing places, the sale is not allowed, should not be allowed, he says. For manufacturing or purchasing or selling or examining an article at unauthorized places, the officer of mines should impose fine of 600 panas. 600 panas is highest. So he should impose highest fine for violence on the person who adulterates the salt. Even for the adulterating the salt also, by my God, this I don't know, I can't even imagine. For that also, highest fine means 500 to 1000 panas. And unauthorized places for selling, selling, purchasing, and also manufacturing or examining all these 600 panas fine. He should punish the persons with the highest fine for violence who subsists of preparing salt without permission. ఉప్పు సత్యాగ్రహం గురించి వింటారు కదా, సాల్ట్ ప్రిపరేషన్ ఆల్సో. ఫర్ ఎనీథింగ్ వాట్ ఎవర్ యూ వాంట్ టు డూ, there should be license. You should acquire license first. You should apply for the license. The permission means what? License. You should have license. Only licensed people should manufacture the things. Otherwise, even if it is salt, you may think that salt is of less value. Still, no one is supposed to do that. So you should punish a person with the highest fine for violence who serve preparing salt without permission. Probably Gandhiji has done that to protest Uppu Satyagraha. So they started preparing the manufactured salt without talking. Mines are the source of treasury. Why all these appear? Fines are imposed, punishments are imposed means he says, Acharya says, mines are the sources of treasury. Akara Prabhava Koshaha. Actually, all the shlokas I am not reading as I mentioned earlier in the beginning only because these sessions are meant for the common man who are not well acquainted with the Sanskrit texts. So if I read out Sanskrit, because again I have to explain word by word. Instead of that, I am just giving a central idea about Kautilyan punishments. So, mines are the sources of treasury. So the superintendent should look after the affairs concerning mines in a proper way. Unauthorized person should not approach the workshop. Here you see, this is most important. That is the reason dress code was there. Even in those days also, dress code was there. It should be done like that. One who approaches without permission should be expiated. That means should be sent from there. Person, though he may be officer, carrying gold or silver from workshop is also an offense. Maybe officer, but he is not supposed to take anybody, whoever is in charge, will take, for example, dairy or anything. Even the officers are not supposed to carry anything from the places of their origin. That means where the manufacturing is going on, only sale, purchase, wherever it is to be done, it should be done. Because Yatha Raja, Tatha Praja. If officer commits mistake, automatically employees also do the same. Therefore, officer, even an officer is not supposed to violate. Okay. And then for that offense, he should be dismissed from the service. If any officer does such thing, then gone, posted from the job. Thus, the king should look into the affairs, the work to be carried out by the officers of all departments in an effective and sincere manner. Here, at the end means actually here, who is the responsible person means here, first of all, the responsibility lies with the king only because king is the sole so owner of the kingdom. That means he is the chief guard of the kingdom. He is the chief protector of the kingdom. Therefore, with the help of intelligence people, that is spies, with the help of ministers, with the help of spies, with the help of heads of the department, the king should look into the affairs and he should take care of even a smallest thing, minute thing, where corruption should not take. That means he should see in such a way that there should not be corruption case, there should not be misappropriation case, there should not be theft case or anything. Thus, the Kautilyan law really lays guidelines to the rulers how a ruler should be, how the things should be done in a proper way. All this is there. So, with this, I have almost discussed the just in general officers and state administration level only. Now, next, as I told you, not administration, but a marriage system. There are some certain problems even now. What are the problems means? I'm not interested to discuss about properties, property dealing, because women's property was there those days also. Whatever is given by parents and which comes as gift to the bride, all that comes under women's property. The Sridhana, that Sridhana without her permission should not be spent. On special occasions, also husband should take her permission. Then only he can spend, otherwise he is punishable, etc. All this is there. The most important burning issues only I would like to focus. What are the burning issues means? Because of the 8 types of marriages are there. Again, marriage system, marriages, etc. I discussed in Arthashastra lectures. That is not necessary now, but the thing is, the relations, conjugal relations, they say, marital affairs, they say, marriage, it is all were arranged marriages except Gandharva Vivaha. Gandharva Vivaha is love marriage. So, love marriage, Gandharva Vivaha means nobody is responsible. That is the reason Kautilya again mentions that for that is with the consent, actually with the consent of parents, four marriages take place. That marriage system, if you want to know, again, please see my Arthashastra audio, that videos. So, Brahma, Asha, Deva, Prajapatya, these are the four arranged marriages. That means, Shulka will, Varakatna was not there. According to this, Varakatna was not there. Kanya Shulka was also not there. Only sometimes, like, the bridegroom, Vara, used to give Gomithuna. That means, Gomithuna means one cow or a ox, that is pair. A pair they used to give, and then they used to marry. Only the thing is, that means actually they used to give some whatever is possible, ornaments or whatever. Actually, ornamental list also not prescribed anywhere. So this way, arranged marriages, in case of arranged marriages also, forcible, here I would like to stress upon, forcible marriages were not there. With the consent of bride only, marriages took place in ancient India. Please, modern woman, if you are listening to my video, please try to understand that before the foreigners and Mughals invasions, there was no forceful marriage for in Indian marriage system. I am talking Indian marriage system. I hardly use the word Hindu because Hindu word is later. The that's Indus, that Sindhu, from Sindhu, Hindu word has come. Where when it was kind, I am not bothered about it. But Indian means Bharata. Bharata Vivaha Vyavastha, there, there is no forceful marriage. If you look at Draupadi Swayamvara was there, Kunti, etc., that is the later on. But marriage was fixed with the consent of Draupadi only. Whoever the breaks that Matsya is the Vara. Sita Swayamvara also is same. Wherever you come across Damayanti Swayamvara, whatever Puranas state. So everywhere, even that is, actually what we have to say, it is, we can say, astonishing, because all the kings were made sit in an assembly hall like candidates for a job, and girl, that is bride, used to carry a garland in her hands, accompanied by not accompanied, actually preceded by a very scholarly lady who narrates the biodata of the kings sitting there, and whose history, directly, indirectly, the characteristics, qualities, she narrates. This you will find in a Damayanti Swayamvara. Goddess Saraswati herself comes to describe all the kings it is there. So, like that, always a bride used to choose. Imagine, actually, she used to select one and remaining are rejected. Even then, it was not felt as an insult. It was the proper way of selecting, particularly this is in the case of princess, that means Rakumar. And in general also, in families also, the Kanya Shulka was not there, Varakatna was not there. They used to see Savarna, etc., that means an equal match. And that way marriages were performed. Even after the marriage, if at all that what nowadays people say compatibility, that is due to some reasons known or unknown. Okay, let us leave it aside. When the compatibility is not there between husband and wife, then the mutual divorce was allowed by Kautilya, not by Manu. That is the reason, of course, Manu has to face controversies. Manu statements are considered as controversial statements. That's okay. But Kautilyan, because I am concerned with the Kautilyan law. I am neither supporter nor opponent of like Manu, etc. I am focusing Kautilya because Kautilyan law is quite relevant even today. So if the compatibility is not there, then Kautilya says with mutual consent they can take divorce. And whatever nowadays the movies are showing, people are thinking there is no question of forcing wife. A husband is not at all force his wife for um, what we say, the married life. That is the union. No question. If she is willing, then only. If she is unwilling, then he is not supposed to force, even if it is his wife. Whatever now last tells us, no means no, they say no. The same law, because nowadays it is really highlighting the points highlighted, even if it is a prostitute, if she doesn't agree, she should not be forced. It is stated now. It is shown on movies. It is mentioned by the courts. This was already there, third BC, that is Kautilya. Kautilyan time, Kautilya mentions. Nobody is supposed to force, even if she is a prostitute by profession, it is her will and wish. Prostitution was there, the rules were there, it was legalized. That is again different topic. But no question of force, because nowadays, lateral, in course of time, what happened? Yes, wife is the property of husband, so he can enjoy even without her willingness, etc. It is not there. Please be clear. It's not there. Why it had happened means only after the invasions by foreigners, by the pollution done by the foreigners, that happened. But before that, it was not there. Indian culture is great, great, great. So no question. Without studying Indian literature, Indian these Smritis or Indian code of conduct, modern women also they talk as they like. Those who are talking, I am really, I am hinting at them, not all the women, but some women, they take the representative, self-appointed, they say, self-appointed representatives of the society. They say, no, this is wrong, this is, no, not at all. Please, if you want to comment Indian culture, first of all, read ancient treatises and go to the ancient histories where women were Yatra naryastu pujyante, where women were honored, where women were worshipped. So go there. Then you say, as I am telling, you also say, earlier it was not there. Vedic period it was not there. Later on it was not there. But in course of time, because of changes, because of invasions by the foreigners, by the militias, whatever you say, all such a social pollution has taken place. That way you have to say. But simply don't say Hindutva, Hindutva, Hindu, Hindu, Haindava. Don't blame any Indian culture. Please be cool. You please consider everything with the proper analytical thinking. Without analytical thinking, you go and shout, it is not the way. So, first of all, whenever you want to proclaim something, when you want to say something loudly, and then you should, first of all, you should check yourself, you should have proper knowledge, then only you say something. But just like that, please, nobody is supposed to say. So that way, I am taking a reference support from Kautilya's Arthashastra. It is not my own invention or my own composition. It is not like that. Therefore, and regarding family life, and also there are certain things how wife should be treated, how she should treat her husband. So actually, a role model marriage system was there. A role model married life was there, marital life. And also similarly, they should not cheat each other. If they are having links with others, they should not having links with others, they should not cheat mutually. Husband should not cheat wife, or wife should not cheat. All these were there. And Bahubharyatva is not mentioned in Kautilya's Arthashastra. Marrying more than one wife, etc., not mentioned. Actually, remarriage is mentioned. Remarriage for man, remarriage for women, particularly for widows also. That is that way. Kautilya's Arthashastra is so relevant to today's society and also for the social welfare. That is the reason such points only, certain points only I take up, I select and I may discuss in next sessions. So this way, I am willing to focus on Kautilyan law so that at least whatever what we say, the wrong concepts are uh, totally induced into the brains of Indians. They should be driven away. That is the reason my effort. So I think people understand me. With this, I take leave. Okay.